Welcome to Mirth, Magic, and Mayhem, the AARPG's new actual play series using the Dragonbane RPG by Free League Publishing. I'm Nathan, your host, co-GM, and I'll also be playing Brains, the idiot Wolfkin thief. Let's meet my friends and fellow cast members.
I'm Malcolm, your co-GM, and I'll also be playing Karyn Rinesmith, the judgy halfling bard.
Hi, I'm Tyr, and I'll be playing Dane Ringson, a human scatterbrain scholar.
I'm Chris, and I'm playing Sigyn, Elven Huntress.
Hey all, this is Anthony, and I play Korgan, and he wants to remind you,
you should go and get stuffed.
Hello everyone, this is Sean, and I will be playing Balor Banefire, a dwarf artisan specialist.
I'm Tim, AARPG's latest temporary double seeker probationary player. I play Quiverwing, the enchanting Mallard whose spellbinding plumage shivers like distant lightning on a moonlit night.
Together, we'll explore ancient secrets of a long-forgotten empire, facing challenges and forging our destiny in a world where every castle, cave, and crypt holds the echoes of a bygone era. Get ready for an epic journey filled with laughter, suspense, and unforgettable moments in the Misty Vale.
All right.
Yay.
There we are. We're all initiated. We can proceed.
All right.
Right.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Superstar.
And we haven't even done all the settings yet, so.
We are literally the fucking worst.
Yeah, we are. This will be fun, though.
We are the worst.
We are the worst. We are the AARPG podcast. And quick reminder.
We are the world.
This is our Tuesday night game, and we change things up. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be good for the podcast.
What?
We love you, but we come first. So with that being said, we want to welcome Matt back temporarily to the podcast. Say hi, Matt.
If he doesn't shape up, he's out again.
Right, no, this is what's not best for the podcast.
Boo.
Anyway, we're playing Dragonbane, and so Matt's here, and he's bringing back an old standard of his from a game we played in D&D. Was it like probably 15-ish years ago, Matt? A long time ago.
Apartment far away.
It's a townhouse.
Okay.
It was a townhouse. It was not an apartment. The apartment was a completely different type of game.
I'm sorry. But yeah, Dark the Bastard. So you're going to get to meet him. I hope, unless
Death comes.
It would be funny if he's just spider food at this point. That would be super funny. But anyway,
We're not telling Malcolm how to do his job, though.
Yeah, it's just one suggestion, Malcolm. You don't have to take it.
The hints.
So are you ready to take the reins now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, take them.
Well, we are doing. I guess this is Dragonbane.
It is Dragonbane.
Let me get sure. Yes, Dragonbane. When we last left off, our heroes were looking in the pit of despair. There was nothing but a wet bridge going over the endless dark. But that's not where we're starting. Dark. A man who's never known his father, but does know his mother, thankfully enough, because she was kind enough to stick around after the 15 minutes of your birth. Anyway, you are returning home. Well, not really home, but the place you last left your stuff. Weaver's Hollow. Your second, or maybe, it's actually kind of like your half-brother lives there. And his name is Andros, and his wife, something begins with an M, but you do remember most of all your nephew, who is there. And he is the only one who usually sees you, and it seems exceedingly happy to know and greet you and say hello, whatever else. But the fact that he's an infant is kind of beside the point, because basically it's nice to have someone actually be happy to see you. But that aside, you are head back. His name is Rorik, and I think he's about like maybe 3, maybe less, 3 years old, I think. But
6.
you're on your way to go 6. Oh, okay, good 6. That's what it's like. Didn't get through all the little notes in that part just yet. But you're coming to see your half-brother, Rorik, and pick up some things you left there. Your half-brother, Andros, your nephew, Rorik, and pick up some things while you're there in Weaver Hollow. At least that was what you intended to do. But when you arrived, you had heard that bandits had attacked. Well, at least had harassed. And as a part of their harassment, they had actually kidnapped your nephew, Rorik. After a fervent and often clueless search, because I'm not really sure what your tracking or bush skills are at this point, you finally heard that it was believed that they somehow may have taken him to the Oracle Cave, or at least to ask the Oracle. By the time you got back, you found that apparently another group of people have been looking for the Oracle Cave and possibly Rorik, which could be useful, but you didn't see them when you went there because you went there and there was nobody there in the cave mouth. You walked inside the cave, you with your torch and your handy insert weapon name here, and proceeded in the cave. You did find, not too far at an intersection, a large number of smashed and destroyed spiders. Some as large as cats, others as small as your hand, but all smashed along the wall and bashed and destroyed. You went a little further and then found an oak that apparently had been torn apart. It seemed kind of hopeless until you sold the bridge. Now, someone apparently laid a bridge here, so you crossed it and then proceeded to wander. And, well, you didn't actually stay on the bridge, kind of fell off, fell into the water, got sucked down to a tunnel, came out, got out of the water, was cold, made a fire, were certain that there was something big in the water, so you moved as far as you could back away from the cave, dried off, and then proceeded to continue walking through.
This is a wondrous life I live.
Yes, this is like the furthest you've been in these caves. Because, I mean, you've been here for the Oracle before. Usually everyone just sits outside after leaving some fruits and some baskets and maybe some meat, and then you hear her voice in your head. And she tells you things about the next year's harvest or what you plan. At least that's what everybody else is asking, but if you're there, you happen to be a part of that situation. So you've never seen her. And you don't know why she lives in this horrible place, but you think maybe the glow state's cheaper or something, and it's definitely offers a lot of privacy. No lighting would be nice. But after a while, you've been walking, you slip through, and you have encountered a lot of webs, which is really kind of disturbing, but luckily, not any spiders yet. Until you come, and you can hear voices echoing up ahead in the dark. You don't know if they're friendly, or they're filled with malice for you. The question is, do you proceed with your torch lifted high so they may see you easily, or more cautiously?
I think that he would perhaps try to lower his torch so it's not as, held up high, and he'll try to move quietly forward, not to disturb in case it's a group of talking spiders.
Always
He wants to hear what they have to say before he,
All right. You proceed with caution, lowering your torch. Why don't you give me just a sneaking roll to give us a sort of a benchmark of how well you're trying to keep quiet.
All right,
It's
my
light in a dark
target
cave.
number is 6. So I will roll. 12.
Okay. You believe you're very quiet.
Yes. I put my hand in front of the torch.
You put
So
it
it
and you,
doesn't-
ow, it hurt. And you're like, oh, shh, shh. And you're blowing on it. Meanwhile, the rest of the party, at least the rest of the adventure, is here tonight. Like I said before, you stand before the precipice. That is an endless and large pit falling into darkness. The only way, other than the way you came, is across a bridge of woven cobwebs. Sway to the wind.
I throw a rock down.
I have to tell you, I don't like this.
You toss the rock down.
I check the bridge for bells.
Why don't you give me a notice, or what do you want to? Actually, why don't you tell me what skill you want to use to give me an idea of how you're applying your aptitude to this? I mean, you just sort of give me a cursory glance. You just tell me what you're going to use, and we'll go from there.
He's going to use his asshole skill.
I'm gonna spot hidden. I get down on all fours, and I'm like, looking at the bridge to see, because I've heard that some people put bells on bridges to warn of intruders. So.
And you've encountered bells on stairs before already.
Oh yeah. Oh, I actually made it. So I have a 7 for spot hidden, and I rolled a 3.
Okay. Giving the bridge a careful look for any possible sort of failings or some sort of signals or bells or something, you find none. If anything, you think, though it is, made of cobwebs, your poking and prodding is giving the idea that it is strong, though, and probably won't give out. It just will probably take some sort of, just a bit of skill, or at least a little bit of luck to get across, but it should hold.
So how long did it take for the rock to hit something below?
Did I say it hit something below?
Right, I say we go back the way we came.
Come on, it's just we've got rope. We'll just tie ropes to each other, and I'll lead the way across.
That worked so well in the water.
This is my natural element. I've got
spider webs,
super balance, and I do a little spin on one toe.
Korgan.
Ta-da!
Why don't you give me a awareness roll? Excuse me.
Korgan.
I do not know what your base skill is, so is that a success?
You rolled a 7.
It's a yes.
What's his awareness? There we go.
It was a success. Well, you being at the back of the pack, you're the one who you think you heard. Like someone is back there in the dark. And well, you look back and it's not only so dark because you can actually, it's kind of like there's
the light is reflecting directly back on his face.
So basically it looks like a face floating in the dark, and you're certain someone's probably, you can see them. They're currently trying to blow on their hand through over the torch. It's really just a mess, but it's why don't you describe yourself, dog?
You see, it's kind of a broad, tall human, kind of crouched down. He has long, sort of flowing, kind of blonde hair that's kind of ratty, and a kind of a semi-unkempt beard. He looks like he's wearing studded leather armor, but there's like little drapes of like old furs and stuff, kind of like on his clothing, and he's got this torch. He's got it on his back. You can see there's like this huge, big wooden, like looks basically like a limb from a tree, kind of whittled down into like a club, and he's just sort of like, blowing on his hand, trying to hide. You can clearly see he's like trying to hide himself with the torch right in front of him.
So, you see this man who's, calling him a danger seems a bit extreme, but he does seem to be, coming up from behind you. Not that you're sure that he's seen you yet or not.
He seems to be a threat, but the question remains as to be to whom.
Now, dog, as you're trying to keep your face covered and you have the torch in front of you, no, I'm not going to give you an awareness roll. Literally, you have a torch in front of your face. So, but, well...
It's doing wonders for my night vision.
It's doing wonders. But you can hear them closer because you can literally hear someone talking, and it's like, that didn't even hit the bottom.
You don't really have night vision, do you?
No, I don't.
No, I just mean the ability to see it.
Okay.
You put a light in your face. That's all I can see.
Because if you have night vision and a torch, that's great introduction.
That would be best.
Then you belong in our party.
Yeah. He will move slightly forward, trying to peer into the darkness around the flame in front of his face to see if he can understand what this talking spider is saying.
So, Korgan, At this point, everyone seems to be fixated on the pit and the spider web across it, with the exception of Karyn, who is looking at some sort of songbook or something, or writing something down. But other than that, no one appears to be paying attention to this person advancing, not really efficiently in any way, but do you want to say anything? I just want to know that now.
I nudge my mate behind me and I tell him what I see. Look at this fool.
What the hell is that? Is that a human?
Spider!
It's not a spider.
Spiders do not...
Yeah, spiders aren't holding torches.
So you hear, it's a spider, and then you can see there's literally, because these guys all had lanterns and torches, a well-lit party of people standing further down the hall, further down the corridor from you in this case.
It's a human with a tree coming out of it.
Darg will hear. So Darg hears it's a spider.
It's a spider. Then you hear, no, it's not. It's a human with a tree coming out of him. I will record this later in my book, and you'll be billed for it. And that's all the things you heard.
Darg will, it's a spider. He will drop his torch and pull this massive wooden club off his back and be like, "Where, spider? Where are you? Come out now! Give me back my nephew!"
Oh, we definitely have to get him. We need this guy.
Perhaps he should go over the bridge first.
Why is there a random, large, tree-wielding man in the spider cave? Who are you? Why are you here?
Wait, are you a brigand? We should probably ask that first, as Karyn.
Does he match the description?
Well, no, not really. The brigands weren't.
Hey, you there! Are you a brigand?
So much for sneaking through the caverns.
I'm carrying a lantern.
No!
Brigand.
Oi! Do you know what a brigand is?
Of course I do.
Do.
Okay, we'll let him do the echoes.
My name is Darg. I am looking for my nephew. He was taken.
Oh!
And I heard taken to this cave.
Dog, ow, you're in luck. Turns out, we just saw him on the other side of that bridge. We'll help you. If you lead the way, we'll be right behind you.
Of course, excellent. He will put his club back on. He kind of straps it back on, or kind of shoves it between the back of his shirt and his back. He doesn't really have much of a strap for it, and then he'll pick up his torch and he'll start heading for the bridge.
I step aside. Right this way, sir.
As you slip past the party, which with all their gear and the lanterns, the tunnel opens up into a seemingly bottomless shaft. The dark abyss gapes before you, and a single bridge made of cobwebs woven is the only way across the other side. And as you get closer to the edge, you can hear possibly the faint crying of a small child echoing from the cave on the far end.
I believe that one's yours.
And then you hear a rock hit the pit bottom.
Well, is this not a sticky situation? But I will go forward. Let us go, whoever you all are. Follow me. And he will trudge across the bridge.
Are we just gonna follow this strange man?
I was going to watch to see what
Absolutely, we
happens.
are.
So, Doug, you courageously move out onto the bridge and begin crossing.
That's a kind adjective.
Why don't you give me a acrobatics roll?
Ooh, I actually am trained in that. I'm still going to roll terrible, but a 4, and I have a 12.
That is not terrible. So, it is, it's not super easy, but the bridge does hold. It's a bit difficult, but you're able to make it to the other side safely without incident.
Someone should have given him the rope.
Quick question. I don't know how serious or not serious you guys have been playing.
Just go with it. You'll be fine.
Just go. Okay.
Just be
he
you.
gets about halfway across and he's kind of giggling, And you see him, he kind of, at one point, throws his leg kind of over part of the side of the rope bridge, so it's coming out between the back of his legs. He kind of looks back and goes, look at me, I'm a spider. And he kind of keeps going.
I now am beginning to... Karyn just looks points and goes, I think maybe...
we could go back to the pub. I don't think they would miss us.
Follow him, they said. Cross the bridge, they said.
I just wanted to see what would happen.
Maybe I'm not super smart, but maybe you should give me the rope and tie the rope to my waist.
Okay, you take the rope. Korgan, you hold the rope. And deliver it to the large man on the other side of the bridge.
All right. I'll tie the rope to my waist and I'll make my way across.
Okay, just give me an acrobatics roll.
7, and I've got 16, so yeah.
Okay. Now, are you each going one at a time across the bridge?
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to go with other people. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one at a time and tied to the rope. I'm going to start flipping through a book really quickly, looking for something, while the others go.
I dart across, one because of my size and the fact that this guy just made it. I feel much more confident. And I do, actually, I try to catch up.
Just give me an acrobatics roll.
All right. I rolled an 11, but I think my...
What's your acrobatics?
Let's see. No, I think it's an 8, and I rolled an 11. I don't think I made it.
You slide off the bridge and start slipping off. You can give me an evade roll and try and grab on to save yourself.
Is he near me or near them or?
Closer to me, but...
Well, we'll just...
My evade is 15. I rolled a 14.
Okay, you're able to snag a piece of the web before going off and sticking and climb back onto the bridge. You'll probably have to go on your hands and knees all the rest of the way, but it'd be safest. It doesn't look dignified.
That was...
But it's better than
what are you
floating.
doing?
The man with the anchor to the rope.
You were supposed to
crossed
stay on the other side.
with the man with the other end of the rope.
Now both ends of the rope are on this side. What are you?
This is so typical.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna go back across. You stay here with Tree Guy, and I'm gonna go. What's your name again?
Why did we let them do the planning?
My name is Dar.
They just
What
went.
is your name, good fella person?
I'm Brains, and I knocked the wooden plate on my head.
Don't hit it too hard.
Times.
Ah, yes, indeed, you are.
And I put my hands on Korgan's shoulders and I say, "You stay here with him. Hold on to the rope. Don't let me fall." And I go back across.
As you're walking across, I'm like, "Did you see what I almost did?"
Yes, you almost died. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I know.
Oh dear God.
Rolled a 10. So, all right, new plan. I'll stay on here. You guys hold on to the rope and make your way across, and I'll...
Thank you for that plan, Brains.
I would like to loop my belt around
Something's
the
just
rope
obvious.
so that my belt slides along the rope.
Yeah, I'll just yeah.
I'll be next.
Karyn will go right after you, with you practically. You're like,
Oh.
I'm furiously making notes as everybody goes.
I'll be happy to go after Karyn.
Ooh, I got a 1 on acrobatics.
Ooh.
Nice, dragon.
Mark that down.
I did.
and Karyn
I'm gonna fail acrobatics.
will fail.
I was terrified.
She will fail, and but she'll make her evade to catch herself. She slides off, and with the help of the rope, is like, and then
Trippy, isn't it?
doesn't like halflings.
Whose idea was this?
And she scoots across you.
Totally failed acrobatics. Rolled a 19.
Ooh.
Okay, why don't you give me an evade roll?
Evade roll, I rolled a 4, so that's
Okay.
good.
So you two are able
but,
to catch yourself, just like.
I
So,
still don't
dog, is
understand why
it-
he can't fly.
How likable is this child of yours?
Oh, he is a sweet child. Very lovable.
Blast it. Fine.
So I'm the only one left.
Let's see.
Well,
Brains.
Yeah, and I'm still on the side with I'm
Right.
holding the rope.
Okay,
is
so
a terrifying,
now that
difficult
I've
bridge.
made notes of where all the slipperiest parts of the bridge are, I'm going to spend the 3 willpower to use.
I'm sorry I hadn't bathed.
To
for a
use
while.
adaptive.
But why is it
and
brown?
and instead of acrobatics, I'm going to use. I'd like to use evade.
Oh. We'll do now.
I would.
Proceed.
Okay. Is it because we have the rope? Is it one? Is it with a bane?
No, it's with a boon.
Oh, a boon. With a
Oh,
boon?
son of a... No, it didn't matter. I got a 1. Never mind. I was
Yeah.
fine.
I rolled a 5 and a 6, so I'm good. Literally, he's got the map out, and he's going,
And you're going
makes
to,
it-
and you'll be able to miss the infamous greasy dog spot that got the 2 halflings and the Mallard.
something pooed here.
That's not poo. It's like some condensed, sweaty skin stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think this
yeah.
might have been a being.
From under.
So, you're all safely across the other side, of the bridge, with your lanterns, your torches back there. Just so you know, Dark, you didn't happen to bring it, I think. Oh, maybe you did. Yeah, you got your torch.
Yeah,
so
he
all
has a
together.
torch.
You're all together on the other far side of the precipice into darkness. Behind you, of course, the cave continues. It sort of turns a bit northward for several meters, and then you lose it in the darkness because the range of your lanterns and torches are not that immense. Let's figure out some sort of marching order for you guys. Best who knows who will encounter
I'll be
things,
third.
and who will notice things first. Okay.
I'll be second.
I can go first.
The 4th?
Darg's just kind of watching all of you line up.
We'll go.
You go over here. No,
So, who's going first?
Brains.
brains.
Oh, okay. All right. Korgan, are you bringing up the end, or is it Darg?
I think for now it's me and Darg's. Well, Darg's behind me.
Walk side by side. You
How
and
wide
I.
is the passage?
The passage is about 1 meter in width on average.
So probably not side by side.
Actually,
So yes,
yeah.
Dark and then Korgan.
Yeah, I think so. It's funnier.
The large man and the halfling.
Okay.
Oh, he's just a boy.
Let me know if you get tired.
You're right, Matt. That's exactly where I'm going. I'm going to be riding you within the next turn. So,
That's how we welcome all of our brand new friends that we find in a cave.
as Dark turns around, I'm like this.
Uppies! Uppies!
Oh, God. So, the passage continues north for a little bit longer, like maybe another 5 or 6 meters, and then you come to a split where there's 2 passages, both going north, veering off. They're not too far from one another in this passage. I mean, from the main passage.
It's
about
not.
the same width.
It's not a T intersection. It's
No,
like
it's
a
more
fork
like a
in the road.
Y. Yeah, it's more like a fork in the road. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll lean over to Karyn and I was like, you realize that if he rescues his nephew that we probably won't get paid, yeah? Just
Do you really
putting
think
that
he's
out there.
going to be able to rescue his nephew without us?
He found his way as far as we did.
I think stumbled is the more appropriate.
What was the reward again?
It was like 35 gold, I think.
He's just saving his nephew. We'll figure this out on the way out.
All right.
So, which passage do you take?
Is one wider than the other? Or are they the same? Or
They appear to be about the same in width.
do either of them Do either of them appear to be more heavily traveled than the other? Is there tracks? Fresh
Why
tracks?
don't you give me a spot hidden, I suppose?
Spot hidden. No, 15.
There is
I do not get
nothing. You notice nothing particularly remarkable that sets one apart from the other.
Do we hear the child's cries more prominently through one or the other? Or both?
They seem to echo through both.
Brains.
Yeah.
Do you catch a scent of anything unusual in either of these paths?
Yeah, I'll take a sniff around. Would that be like an awareness thing?
Sure, an awareness.
Smells like cave. Yep. Thing. Ooh, that's a negatory.
Too much
17.
dark.
Yeah.
Too much dark.
He has
Too much dark.
Has anyone else noticed his odor? Just
Yes. That's why I'm up front.
I did he roll around in a dead donkey?
Our donkey is not dead and it still smells like that.
Honestly, I think Miserable Beast might actually smell better, and I've never thought I would say that.
I suggest we move up the right for no other reason than to...
You're right, or am I right?
We're both facing the same direction.
What if I turn around?
I just start pushing brains down the right path.
All right. Don't have to push me.
All right, so
I think I might.
you proceed to the right.
When
Elves always
Dark gets
push
to
us
the
right.
intersection, the Y intersection, he turns around, looks at the halfling, kind of has a smile on his face. He's like, huh, "We should stop and eat here." He just turns around and keeps walking.
Oh, we should turn around and go to the
You guys,
bathroom.
I'm just waiting for you to tell me to lightning bolt his ass, man.
You'll know when the time is right.
Wait,
all
we
right.
find the
I don't-
child.
I don't think that this guy is going to be any competition for looking for that lost tome. It's just an impression I get.
Great.
Not sure he knows what the tome is.
Unfortunately, with Dark in front of me, I didn't see where they went. I don't know which
You're
direction
just
they
hoping
went.
that he's going the same direction.
You mind giving me a lift? I would like to look up and scout ahead. Maybe I can help you.
Sure, you can go ahead.
Wait, which way did you go, Dark? Did you follow
did,
them?
yeah.
Okay, I'm just...
Yeah.
All right. You travel for about 20 meters before you once again come to another fork. Well, this is more of a T. One passage because the passage goes north and then slightly starts turning towards the west. And then the passage sort of comes to a split where it continues west. And then there's a passage that continues back, that's sort of lower, that connects back to the east. You can hear the child's crying from the passage to the west. You can hear footsteps coming up from the east.
Footsteps? Oh, hide.
This is just
Bloody
you, Brad.
cave?
There might be rocks and stuff around.
I
Is there a
think
spot
there'd be rocks
to
all
hide
around.
from the footsteps?
Let me see if I can give you guys show you what this intersection looks like. That might be helpful, I suppose, in some way. Oh dear, that was way too big. You don't want
That's
that.
what she said.
No, she didn't. Unless you meant your...
She could have. She could have said that. You don't know. You don't know.
I know. It was like, no.
We spent far too much hot time together to...
Dub.
Yes, I've been drinking. What do you want? Hot tub time.
All right. Well, anyway, I can't really show you because this map's not really doing me any favors.
You just describe it. Use your GM voice.
So basically, you have a passage that continues westward, and the one that turns back on itself, going a little bit to the south, heading east. You hear footsteps from the east. They seemed, the best you can gather, is sort of sporadic. But when I say footsteps, it's because you do think it's a bipedal creature. That it stops before reaching the intersection.
Yeah, because we all have like lanterns and torches.
Yes, you do.
Is there any light coming from that direction?
No.
Ooh.
Nothing but
Okay.
darkness.
Okay, something that's bipedal and does not need torches.
Can you smell anything coming from that passage?
I'll just shut up and say, hey, are you one of those goblins following us?
I draw my bow.
Stop yet.
Sorry. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but all right.
Oh, I should stop being smart. I'm an idiot.
That is true. Oh, you mean brain? Yeah.
Touche.
But you do not hear any response except for.
Is it another strange, weird man wandering around a cave at night? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're just collecting weirdos.
And then it starts running like really it's like staggering around, and you just hear like running, like it's obviously running straight towards you, like.
Yeah, I put up my sword and pull out my daggers. And I'm like ready to like
I got the bow ready.
stab it.
Suddenly, a dark figure rushes towards you. It appears to be a man, I guess. He's shouting. He just keeps shouting, "Beast in the dark! Beast in the dark!" His eyes are wide, his clothes are ragged. It looks like he might have been someone of, I wouldn't say importance, but at least, probably had a day job.
Are you Ronnie James Dio?
And he just keeps screaming, "The beast in the dark!" Everywhere,
Oh, damn.
nowhere.
You're the one who came in these tunnels without a light.
God, voices.
Yeah, who are you? What's wrong with you, man?
The beast in the dark. It is here.
Yeah,
You
you
feel
said
it
that.
crawling over you, everywhere. Eyes.
Yeah, I wish you hadn't said that.
See those eyes?
Okay, stop talking. Stop
Eyes
talking.
everywhere.
Stop. Shh.
Is that a plank on your head? Eyes
Yes.
in the dark.
That's a fair question.
So many grasping and taking. They're all gone. All of them.
Who?
Some are here,
Who's
and
gone?
they're gone. Just taken, shoved through little holes, pulled down. Beat the darkness of the water. Stay away from the water. There's a
Yeah, I
creature
know about
in it.
that. Oh, it's cold. It's cold too. Very cold.
Yeah, the orcs
lucky-
told
yeah.
the orcs told us about the creature in the water. We're good.
The lucky ones died of the cold. They are the ones crushing teeth under the water, snapping bones, drowned cries. Nothing compared to the creatures in crevices.
Oh, we met some of them too. They were not
Beast in the
so
dark.
pleasant.
Do you have a plank on your head?
Yeah. So it's more about. So, can you describe this beast in the dark?
Darkness, touching. They tried to
Hey,
touch you.
no.
Touching everywhere.
Stay back.
I don't think he's given consent.
Really?
It's very strange.
We shouldn't have done it. It is all a punishment from the gods themselves. Ooh.
What did you do?
Is that a board on your head?
Yes. God damn it.
Oh, the gods have damned you as well. Oh.
Certainly damned all of us.
I mean,
Ooh.
I did this
So
to
much
myself.
light.
Sometimes
They
you have
like
to.
the light. I'm so glad, but so sad. It's not the light of outside, but it's light here. I hope it doesn't bring them like before.
Maybe you need a nap. Do you need a nap?
Sleep here.
Yeah.
They'll get you when you sleep. Bodrus, he slept. It took him, pulled him straight through the wall.
Why are you in the caves, madman?
Because I can't get out!
He should travel with us. He seems wise.
We've already picked up one weird man in the cave today.
I will
He
help
seems
you.
to know about beasts in the dark. Isn't that what we are worried
If you will
about?
help me get out and let me stay in the center of your light, they get you from the edges. You like the darkness.
Yes, come. Walk next to me, wise man.
What's this?
Why is this weird man inviting more
wasn't a
weird
choice.
men to join us?
What brought you into the cave, madman?
They brought us in the cave.
I think the human has devised
And
the
then we
means of
couldn't
having
get
the slowest ambush of all time.
Then we
He's
couldn't get out.
He's just going to keep inviting weirdos to join us.
He leans a little,
like 8 of us.
he leans a little closer to you, Brain. Time to touch you. You were touching us.
You don't. You. Don't
We thought we were fine, and we woke
Don't
up
touch
here.
the fur.
It
Don't
got
touch
us
the
all.
fur.
Well, some of us.
This is my new square.
I think I've read about people like him. I think they
Cave
call him-
madness?
He has an affection for furries.
We got
He's quite mad.
They are so many. Beasts in the dark, long-limbed, grasping, biting eyes everywhere.
Does he have any
They
weapons
took
on
the
him?
baby, even. I can hear it crying. Can you hear it?
You will be so fun at dinner.
Or
I like your
be
stories.
Dinner. Thank you. Do you have a board on your head? It's so weird. Is she dead? Anyway.
Excuse me, large fellow. Do you know this one from your village?
No, not at all. I don't know him, right? Like, I don't recognize him.
you have no idea who this guy is.
I have never seen this fine gentleman before.
Is there's one thing you haven't, know, in Weaver Hollow, you literally just, if you've lived there, you know everybody.
I'll lean over, whisper to Karyn. It's like somebody could just knock him out. We could go through his pockets. We might get a more saner answer.
Dane, I am like literally 3 feet tall.
I didn't say
knock people out.
us.
Oh.
I mean,
Just somebody.
Well, obviously, the dog would be the best one to do it. He's got a tree. But I
true.
think they're related.
he knows he's in a cave, right?
I whisper.
And he's wielding a tree.
Dog, don't trust him. He knows where your nephew is. Get him.
You don't want to go there. Don't go that way.
Wise
Nephew?
man, I am looking for my nephew. Have you seen him?
He
Little
looks
boy.
behind you when you say wise man.
He's gonna say no. Watch.
I'm looking
Yes.
for my nephew. Have you seen him?
Yes. See, did
Excellent. Where is
charming
he?
child. Auburn hair. Pale
Joe is
blue
his nephew.
eyes.
Is his description correct?
Yes, his description's correct, but he didn't know it. Yes.
I mean, Dark figures he's probably telling the truth. He doesn't really remember.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, point the way. Lead us there.
I will not lead you into the hour of the beast. There, he points further west.
Not the way he was coming, but like the other way.
Yeah,
Or
not
the way he was
he's
coming.
Not
Okay.
the way he was coming, the other way. He goes like, but if I could just borrow a torch and a sword and maybe your board.
Ooh, no.
No, I
Can't have the board.
don't think any of that is a good idea, frankly.
You can't burn them with just your desires. You must burn them with fire.
You could burn your clothes.
Like that crazy knight said. Cleansing fire will be the salvation of all of us.
Crazy night. Which
Well, I
crazy
thought he
night?
was crazy then. But now, he was right. We need fire. This whole cave needs fire.
That's what I've been saying from the beginning.
Is that a board on your head?
No. No, it's- you're
It is, you have a
hallucinating.
very interesting haircut. I just didn't say
No,
that.
thank you.
I know a guy.
It's a little hat.
Oh. You should probably talk to your hadassery.
It's
Anyway.
Wolfkin fashion. You wouldn't understand.
I have a wolfen friend. He's got a little meat.
Sure you do.
I did. I did have a wolfen friend.
That's what they all say. Oh, it's okay. I have a Wolfkin friend.
And then the beast in the dark took him. I think they like the fur more than they do just the uncovered flesh. He howled and whimpered, and they just dug into him, rippling waves of things under his fur. It was not right. It was not right.
Sounds like the spiders. Very dangerous. You go first.
So they're that way. I'll take a lantern or a burning stick or that twig, and I'll have the other. You seem like you have something great. Or I could stick with you and help you get out. I know the way.
You can't get out yourself. How can you assist us?
I know which ways not to go, so there must be the other ways that you can go that you must know. So,
Oh my god.
You were coming the same direction that we were going, and you're telling us it's not the way. I don't think you're the one we should be taking directions from, sir.
Well, that was a horrible... You haven't been in the... You haven't been in the...
I think I've lost 2 or 3 years worth of education just talking to this man.
Dog, since you enjoy his company so much, why don't you stand beside this nice gentleman while Brains and I continue forth?
Oh, most definitely. Come, talk to me, quite great sir, about this beast in the dark while we find my nephew.
Brains, come on.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
occupied.
All right.
So, which way do you guys go? Further west?
West, right? That's the where the cries are coming from.
Yes.
Wherever he pointed, right?
Are there more webs?
Right where you are? No.
Yeah, like where we're like from where we are. Do we see still more webbing?
From where you are?
Mm-hmm.
No, with this fork, you do not see more webbing. I don't think you see more where you are.
Yeah, well, it says, and I just told Korgan, yeah, we're just gonna scout ahead a little bit, just make sure he doesn't like stab anybody
Or break them.
Yeah, so we'll just scout ahead a little bit and see if we can find another.
Okay. Well, you can go about another 10 meters before you had this narrow pinching where basically the cave once again becomes really constricted. Meaning that, you won't have to, you'll basically just have to just sort of like sheath your weapons and either drag or keep your lanterns low or something. You have to figure some way. You can't walk abreast, you'll have to walk sideways and shuffle through it. But it's a little wider than the other smaller ones you've got through, so you probably won't have to make an acrobatics roll. It will just constrict your movements as far as in this part. Do you proceed?
What do you think?
I see no other way that doesn't involve us crossing that confounded bridge again.
Or going the way the madman came from.
I mean, do you want to see if this is a short crevice or a long crevice?
Let's see if it's a short crevice.
All right. I mean, do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You've got better senses down here. I suspect you should go first.
Yeah, I'll squeeze through. I'll leave my shield behind and
Well, it's a matter of just how it's a matter of having. You'd have to just either put it on your back and then slide through, or at least hold it really close to you.
Yeah, we can do that.
But you wouldn't be able to really use it or use a weapon or anything. You really can't do any particular action other than just slide the big through.
Okay.
So, but it is wider than the other one was. That's it. There is no acrobatics roll to not get stuck. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay. He's going through the back of the shield on the walls.
That's each set. But yeah, but the thing is, you move down. But the fortunate thing is that the sort of constriction of the size of the cave is a very short sort of portion. It only goes about maybe 3 meters, and then it opens back up to I wouldn't say huge, but definitely about a meter wide tunnel again, so you have some room to maneuver.
Okay. And
do you go further beyond that point?
I suppose I would follow.
I'll wait for. I'll stage whisper back to Sigyn. Sigyn, it's okay. Come through.
I will then follow through and redraw my bow once I clear the opening.
Okay. I suppose, well, does the rest of the party follow through? Darg. The man in the back goes, we could always go the other way. You have a torch.
I'll follow through with the lantern.
Well, these fine folks seem to know where they're going, but I'm just following them.
They're headed towards the child and the beast in the dark.
Well, that's where I'm going, is for the child. Come on, get in there.
Fine, you're right behind you. So, I'm assuming the rest of the party goes through the tight spot and gets the other side.
Yes.
The passage in the stone in this cave continues for another 10 meters before you come to a thicket of spider webs. Beyond it, you can hear a crying baby, louder than you've ever had before. How thick and how wide this thicket is, it covers the entire, sort of doorway, the whole passage, and you can hear it beyond it.
Darg would move forward and try to start burning the webs out of the doorway. Hold on, Rorik, I'll be there. Hold on, lad.
He knows that they were captured by bandits, right?
On the other hand, we see naught but spiders within the caves.
It's true. Maybe the spiders ate the bandits.
They did, says the guy in the back. They did eat the brigands.
So
The
he'll just
brigands,
try to
not
burn
the
the webs from the doorway, right? Because they're blocking the doorway or something.
They immediately sort of give out, sort of disappear. But I mean, there's like the floor is covered, the walls are beyond it, and much thickly covered with it. But by burning away that covering over that passage, it reveals a much larger chamber. So basically, you have your lanterns and you illuminate it. It appears to be a vast cave chamber. The walls are covered with cobwebs, and covered with cobwebs and various sort of like entanglements, but it's like thick, and in which there is a small cocoon which dangles, and you can see the outline of something very large moving in the shadows. And then a faint voice inside your heads, as if whispering. In both your ears at once you hear. Little creatures, why have you invaded our home? Out of the abyss climbs a hideous spider. She's huge, thick and fat like two horses and many legs. She braces herself against the wall as she begins to lean out into the chamber towards you. One of her limbs accidentally kicks sort of hits the little cocoon dangling, and you hear a terrified cry of a child.
I slowly lower Darg's torch.
Darg will slowly reaches under his furs, puts a little open face helmet on, kind of. Well, I'm here, Rorik.
He's got a look on his arm.
I'm here.
Line. We heard that human child is sick and not fit for eating.
Is that what you say?
Yeah.
That's not nice. He's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with him.
Ixnay on the...
A sweet treat. Perhaps not. Why are you here, little
I
creatures?
hear someone talking in their head.
Yeah, this happens when you go in these caverns. These things like to do that.
You've actually heard this voice before, Dog.
Oh.
During the harvest requirement, when you guys come and ask the Oracle about the weather for the next coming year. It sounds just like this. Not really as scary, but definitely like this.
Well, this makes sense now. Of course a spider would know about farming.
We've come for the boy.
You did?
No, I'm speaking to the spider. Thank you.
You've come for
Actually,
the boy.
I love that even better. You did?
Always tears characters in the children. It's really.
If that was true, if it was my normal character, like, oh, just fucking eat him. You know?
You've only just come for the boy.
No, we've had other things, but that is one of the main reasons. We were planning to come back and petition the Oracle for an answer to a question.
What is your question?
Oh, we haven't made an offering yet, so we can't ask a question, correct?
But I could perhaps make you an offering for the answer. You seem strong, healthy, tasty meats and creatures.
There is this odd fellow we've picked up in your caves.
Yeah, let me go get him.
What is your offer?
Go from this place. Kill the orcs that have invaded this cave. And I will give you the answer you require.
And the boy?
She will extend one of her sort of legs and stroke the thing, shake it, just so it just hits it and he cries.
And the boy.
You do notice that, as she turns, that like part of her sort of like, spider's head, the Kaikin looks a bit damaged, and some of the eyes look, most of the eyes look sort of cloudy in color as opposed to shiny or clear.
May we have a moment?
I have been here before the valley was inhabited by your folk, and those of the Elven as well.
I'm gonna huddle up here.
We're speaking to our heads.
I know, but it's polite.
It's not polite to snake someone's head.
Yeah, I have a feeling that this is the Oracle. So we have the option of getting the boy back and getting our answer.
And it's really helping for a very, young woman who's like high on vapors or something. It's terribly disappointing.
It's not that flavor of Oracle, I guess.
It's the worst flavor of Oracle. It's all about.
But so should we go back and attempt to kill the orcs to get the answer and this gentleman's nephew returned? Your thoughts?
I think that sounds great, but from the Oracle's standpoint, you just try to use football like, okay, you just like, and you just try to lay it all out.
No, Dane's not that crafty. He's literally going to talk to you about it.
But
I think that sounds pretty good to me.
But hold on. There's lots of this orcs. There's only one of this thing.
You've seen how large it is, right?
It's also been here since before this valley was inhabited thousands of years ago.
I suspect we are not the first adventurers to stumble into this cave and.
Wait, let me check. One clarification, please. Do we have to kill the orcs, or can we ask them to leave nicely?
If they leave forever, and I get none of their meats, perhaps that'll work. But I can be satisfied depending on what you're asking, I suppose.
Does she give good farming advice?
Yes, she does. It is really have kept, Weaver's Hollow has been extremely prosperous because usually she tells them all about the weather to expect, how they're planting, and so forth. But usually, you're dogs, you don't really know this, but usually that's about the caliber of the questions they ask. Usually, people have been able to ask other things of her, but that's usually done privately and not as part of the group village effort. So
the social contract between her and the village has been positive.
Yes.
Okay.
But she does have your nephew.
I'm all for slaughtering Nightkin, but
Not so loud.
No,
Yeah, I could definitely do it. This is Karyn. They can all just die. It was the worst.
I don't
anyway,
know how I feel about leaving the child in here with that monster. No offense.
She should be offended. Look at her eyes. Gross. Just probably
Pretty gross.
I mean, there's
On the other hand, it has survived this long. How many orcs were there?
A different bargain.
I just side-eye the crazy old man that we were entering the caves.
Oh, he's just like the beast in the dark. He actually didn't come into this place. He just basically, once you guys come here, you realize you took it back for him, and he's not there. I forgot.
Maybe he should stay and keep an eye to make sure nothing happens to my cousin.
Like literally, you
My
turn
nephew.
around, and he's like, you turn around to see if he is like, he did not come into this cave. He's like, he's out.
Dog has wasted our sacrifice.
If we do this thing, you will not harm my cousin, my nephew, right?
That is the nature of
Stepson, niece.
Time
Twice
to return
removed.
back to his own folk, his own kind, unharmed and untutored and uneven.
Untutored.
Well, he was sick anyway.
There's always another option. Keep him.
Yeah,
I'll go with whatever you all decide to do.
Well, I mean,
But I believe the spider. Many crops have been grown. Many seasons have the people of my town flourished with her guidance.
You are from Riva Hunter.
Stop by from time to time.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but how? We don't know how many orcs there were. I just
could be a lot of orcs.
On the other hand, the stairwell was a natural choke point.
Orcs don't bother me. You can do orcs.
Have you met our friend Quiverwing and his skilled chain lightning?
He's really good at that. He's really good at that. And they are nightkin. And the thing is, I mean, the worst could happen is basically they could, someone could survive until a different patrol that we've encountered.
Wait, what were we doing?
What?
I've lost track.
Our options are get murdered by the giant spider or murder some orcs.
Oh,
can we take the child as collateral?
I don't think she'll fall
I
for
don't
that.
Know what you want.
he doesn't. I don't think he knows how loans work.
Yeah.
We take the child. We go kill all the orcs or make them leave, and then we come back with our question. Seems like a win-win. I mean, you don't really. I mean, you're not going to eat the child anyway, so.
It is an incentive to get what you need. To do the job.
No, I mean, it's just like it's just hanging there. I mean, what do I need with a human child? I mean,
You do not. You need to expand your
they can't
culinary
hunt.
choices.
They're not good in a pack. I'm just just kind of a novelty thing, just to hold on to make sure that you hold up your end of the deal.
And if you fail to hold up with the deal, I lose a tasty.
But it's so little. I mean, compared to him,
Who are you gesturing towards?
Darg. I mean, that's a tasty morsel. That's appetizer.
My children have brought me this.
Mm.
Others the size of him have been for them to consume.
Oh, kids.
Your Oreo-ness, where are your children?
Everywhere in the dark.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Jesus Christ.
Everywhere in the dark. How do you think I knew about the elves?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
They were
I mean, you're an oracle after all.
You know what? Perhaps yes, I will let you take the child. I will see if you keep your end of the bargain.
I always keep my word. Right, guys?
Yes.
I'm afraid I don't
Yes,
know
he
your real
does.
name, so I don't know.
I think it's Richard. I don't sure. It's weird.
Yeah.
He told me it was Dick.
When he has those cute puppy dreams, though, in the middle of the night, he sometimes says Richard.
So, who steps forward to cut down the cocoon?
I'll go and
With your club?
Club?
he has a small. It's like a functional, like a little hatchet.
This isn't going to go well.
So Darg has two small spears, the club, and he has a small little, like a little hatchet, like hand axe.
Wait, this guy is carrying a fortune in weapons.
They're very crude. They're like spears are like pointed sticks.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
When you
yeah.
said, yeah, all right.
Not fancy.
So you approach stepping on the web, and then her body shifts when you do that. Like she's able to sort of like almost take note. Like she doesn't seem to be aware of you till you stepped on the webs closer to her, and then she shifted her body and sort of faces you, and you go and cut down the baby, and you'll probably need to open it up to see his face. Yes, and he's.
Is it Rorik?
Yes, it is Rorik, and he's a double.
Hi, Rorik.
He's screaming, he's crying, he sees you, and then starts laughing, and it seems very happy.
I'll take the web and like pull it apart. Like he starts crying. I'll like close it on his face and go, open it. Peekaboo.
Well, this is terrifying to the rest of you.
Turn him toward the spider. Oh.
Yes. He does scream at that, and he turns and then screams into the light when he sees you. It's just a very weird thing, whatever. But you have him, and you have him now. And you think maybe you can literally just take the cocoon and stick it to your body and it'd stay there. It's kind of
sounds good.
Okay, well,
like a little baby Bjorn.
Yeah.
How old is the nephew?
I forgot.
He was like 6.
He's 6.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, so
I think it's funny.
Later. You can ride in it later. Yes.
No.
It's
I think if he's like 16 and we're calling him a child, he's like, I don't want to ride in a Bjorn. You're 16 years old.
Well.
All right. Okay.
So, are we going to?
Yeah,
we're gonna back out real slow.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Right.
We're off to kill the orcs.
We'll
be back
actually,
probably like hour.
No, it took us like an hour just to get through the last set of caves. He doesn't have a real good grasp on time. I'm sure you can monitor us in the caves, and you know how long it'll take for us to get there.
No need to monitor us. We'll be fine. We'll be back. We'll be back.
I have a feeling that we've not taken a step in this caves, and this creature is known everything that we've done.
Everything.
At least we.
Oh, darn.
We just met him. He's not with us. I'm just going to put that out there.
Remind me to buy you some wipes.
Dude wipes.
So Darg, since you were the one who went over there and cut Rorik loose, you can give me just a notice roll as well. I've just thought about this as well.
Did you notice the skill? Is it awareness?
Awareness. I mean,
awareness. Yeah.
I guess spot hidden. Maybe spot hidden, I guess, would be. Is there a notice?
That's the second thing you laughed at.
Awareness would be notice.
Awareness.
Well, I got to know because one of them I have a bane on because of my helmet. So is it spot hidden or awareness?
Spot hidden.
Okay, that I have a full 5 with only 1 die. Okay.
You can push it.
16 out of 5.
Okay. And you leave. All right.
He missed all the treasure.
Yeah. Is there a more direct route to get to the orcs than the way we came? Safer for our kind? No, I'm asking the oracle. I'm not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
She doesn't answer questions without a fee.
I see
give
danger in
her
you.
the kid. She'll answer.
She said, "Is there a safer way for people like me?" No. You have taken the safest path. The one that provides the most mercy. The easy road. You can take the other path and not worry about crossing the pit.
That would be nice. Yes.
But I'm not certain if my children will not consume you.
Maybe the pit.
It's fine.
The pit is fine.
Killed them way back there.
No, the
They're
pit
not
is
gonna be a
fine.
problem.
The pit is fine.
Hey, what?
We're going to take the pit.
X-ray on the Eldrin tray.
Thank you very much. We will return. Hopefully sooner than later, because we need the answer to this question.
Oh, yeah. Super important question. So important.
Okay.
I'm excited to be a part of this plan.
So,
What were we supposed to ask?
We get
It's like,
where the next piece
brilliant
of the
making up that
statue is,
question.
remember?
Bullshit. That was amazing.
No,
I'm really super
seriously.
impressed. But
No, Brains, we actually need to ask the question. That's why we journeyed here.
We're not fighting those fucking orcs. We're getting out of here. Get out of this fucking cave and take this kid back to this stupid village.
The whole
stupid
reason
humans.
when we left the Rittermound to come here was to ask the Oracle a question.
Oh,
Oh, we did. Ah, fuck, for the
the
statue
fucking
piece.
statuette.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
It's what
Yeah,
the professor said is true.
Yeah, we really need to ask the question.
yeah.
Now, do we have to kill the orcs? We just have to convince them that this is not the good place to be.
Little A, little bit of B. I think that's all that matters as long as they leave and don't return.
They'll respect a show of force.
Maybe we just burn down the keep that they're staying in?
you do realize it's made of stone mostly.
It's
Yeah,
so
but there's
not known
wood
for its
parts
burning.
inside.
Yes, there's wood parts, but we have to get inside the the parts of stone to get the wood parts.
Just need a bigger fire.
Okay. I don't know yet. Look, I'm having a hard time here. It's been a long day. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Let's go talk to them and maybe we can reason with them. It's like, hey, you leave or we'll kill you.
Well,
It's
I mean,
worth
Karyn,
a try.
We
Because
have a fucking duck.
Karyn knows one of them.
that sounds very much like initiative.
I can help you all with this. I have been told that I have a silver tongue.
Who do you know?
Do you not brush it? If it's the orcs we must convince, let us go deal with these orcs.
We just spent all the time convincing them not to kill us.
We'll convince them that the giant presumably evil spider knows that they're there and does not want them there, and it is better for them to depart the premises rather than become giant evil spider food.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be spider food.
They know they do not want to come down into the tunnels.
Never again.
But if they're convinced that the keep is part of the spider's domain, maybe they can be convinced to depart.
Maybe we could sneak in at night and put webs on their pillows. Then they would think that the spiders were already there.
You're not making web when you do that, dog.
Look, I'm getting dumber the longer we have this conversation. So could we just start going towards the keep and we'll figure it out on the way?
All right, yeah. Let's go.
So with a bit of backtracking and
Let's get this stupid kid some food.
taking a bit more care, having a bit more planning, you cross the English abyss over the using the cobweb bridge. After taking the right passages, you then find you find the stairs going back up towards the keep, and I'm assuming you begin ascending them.
Yep.
As before,
figure it
is several meters of stairs you have to cross to come up, to go up. But when you think you're about maybe, 15 meters more, probably once you just sort of run this bend up the cave to the keep, you encounter a barricade.
Does it look somewhat sloppily put together?
No.
These are pretty smart orcs.
It does not look slightly put together. If anything, you can tell just some of the material that they apparently probably destroyed the stairs behind it to make part of this barrier.
And is the barrier made of wood?
Part of it's made of some stone from the steps or something like that, and then the rest appears to be like some sort of like either not quite set mortar and muddish like clay or something, and some debris probably taken from outside the keep and brought down here. It is not high. I'm saying the other thing is like it doesn't go all the way to the roof. It just sort of like it's a barricade, and you guys are coming up. You can see that before you get to it.
Can a halfling crawl over it?
It's only about maybe a little taller than you are. It's only like maybe a 4-foot barrier.
Can a halfling on top of a human look over it? Yeah.
Yes. And as you guys approach, I didn't know if you guys were being quiet. I just thought you were just going upstairs. There is a orc who sort of pops up sort of halfway, half his body over the top of the barrier, spear in hand.
Hey!
Why are you back?
Yeah, we need to have a chat.
We chatted and didn't stab you in the face, so I think that went well.
Yeah, well for you.
Yes.
See, the bad
Want
news
to
is...
continue to go well, then we need to have another chat.
Why is there a baby on that man? Why does he have 2 babies? Is that what humans do?
Now you can fuck right off.
Very fertile.
Not a baby, definitely a halfling.
Well, no, the other one actually is a child. Remember the child we were looking for? We told you we were looking for a child.
Oh, they're not liars. They found a baby.
Oh, that's nice. Someone says from behind the barrier.
So the bad news is the giant spider downstairs knows you're here, and, well, she doesn't like it. We're here to warn you that perhaps you should move on before she comes to express her displeasure herself. And
She's
I'm told...
she's a giant spider.
Giant spider, yes.
Is she bigger than a corridor's?
Size of a small hut.
And she's going to come up the stairs somehow and show us this giant spider that's bigger than a
Listen,
shark.
love, it's not her. It's a thousands of kin that can fit here and crawl right over this monstrosity. And eat out your eyes while you're breathing.
Well, all right, I'll pass it on to upper management and let them know and inform them that there is obviously a possible problem with spiders and incursions, and see what she wants to do. But
After all, they didn't make the caves in the first place, I'd imagine.
that's probably true.
Oh, while you're doing that, remember the other part of this. She'll let you out if you make haste. But this has a timer on it, this offer.
This fort is literally built at the end of a cave? The stairs? So we're already at the out.
It's not the way that she sees it.
I believe there's one of your orc friends down below who has experienced her wrath already.
Well, he was a moron. He was told not to leave. We talked about him. You told us. We know he's dead. Hold on 1 second. Stay right there.
He's got to. It's not a baby. It's a halfling. Yes. Wait, it's still on his head. The other one? Yeah, it's still there. It's like literally nailed into the top of his head. Just go tell him.
Comes back over. Everything's fine. Other than giant spiders the size of cards, what else have you been up to down in the caves?
Mostly that.
Seen any interesting sculptures?
There was a very nice pit of death. That was fascinating.
Oh, pit of death. That's nice. Those are convenient. You know.
You found a couple of madmen.
Madman. Well, it sounds like you've had an exciting day. And found children, and had time to have children, which is always good, I suppose, you know. For you.
I don't think you know how that works, but sure, okay, yeah.
How wide is this stairwell?
And the stairwell is about 1.5 meters wide.
So only about like a person or so, right?
Yeah, it's about like 5 feet wide. This is not a very roomy place, you know. The barrier is about 3 feet in height.
So us taller ones can clearly see over it.
Well, it's because because the stairs are you guys are lower than them on the stairs. It's kind of hard to see. That's why it's like it's an ascending stairwell. They have the advantage of not being completely visible from here. But then again, you're probably certain that if you guys go back down 3 stairs, they can't see you. So it's kind of a catch-22 for both sides. But yeah. And you probably figured it's been done to restrict the amount of actual visual, capability of those coming up, and they could probably just throw shit over or something.
Look, you're getting the message sent to your leadership. We're going to go back down and have a spot of lunch. It's been a few hours, and we've had a bit of a time.
That sounds like a great idea.
We'll be back.
All right. Once again, congratulations, Miss, as he points at Darg. And, we'll be here.
Okay.
Wait, one more question, just quick. You did not find any interesting or not so interesting statuary down there, did you?
It's mostly just cave.
Okay, we just thanks.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
In the giant spider chamber.
I mean,
The giant spider might possibly have had one.
There was the one phallic-shaped stalagmite that they all laughed at for about 20 minutes, but that was really about it.
Pretty fine.
Dakin.
Also, your dead fellow was clutching something down below. I'm not sure what it was.
Probably his ballsack. He was weird that way.
Don't know whether we could find that part.
Oh.
Not that we looked for it specifically, mind.
Oh, thank you. That's a new part of information. He was carrying something. I'll make certain that the boss hears that. Enjoy your, what do you guys call that? Siesta?
Okay.
And we will see you once you're refreshed and returned.
Sure.
And we, of course, will have orders. And believe me, if this ends terribly, I am so terribly, sorry that it goes that way, kind of thing. But,
It's more of a concern for you, lad, but...
Yeah.
As
You've been very decent. We appreciate it.
I don't want you to be eaten by little tiny spiders.
you have been very decent as well. And with that, they just wait for you to walk away.
So awkwardly, just bye. It's
Kind
great
of weaving with this.
great to see you. It's
Yeah,
it's
when
been
you
fun.
decide to leave, just send us an envoy, and then we'll go tell the spider. The giant spider with the fangs.
That can't get up the
Thousands
stairs.
and thousands of carnivorous children crawling all over the caves.
All right, so I think that we're gonna rest and have a little snack.
You can probably the best room, even though it's a bit of a squeeze to get there to rest, would be that sort of like cave that was full of relics.
Oh, that armory-looking one? Yeah.
Yeah, it was large enough to hold your party, though. There were several exits off of it, but if you have enough watches, you probably should avoid any horrible deaths at night or during a rest period. And do you guys plan on taking a... Because you guys slept outside before, doing your... taking a full shift outside the cave, woke up and started the day and went in here. Do you want to just take a stretch, or are you guys planning on taking...
I've got some conditions that I've got to heal. So can you heal more than one condition in a stretch, or is that it?
In a stretch, I think you can heal. Was it one, or is it
Stretch
just willpower?
I thought a stretch was one, and shift, which is the 8 hours-ish, was everything.
Yeah, stretch is you can heal D6 hit points or 2d6 if someone is tending to you.
Like I'll do whatever the party wants. I have 2 conditions, but
During the stretch, you also can recover D6 willpower
okay.
and heal a condition of
Yeah.
your choice.
Yeah, let's just do a stretch.
Okay. So can I roll a d6? I heal 6.
Nobody was injured?
Yeah, if there's anybody physically injured.
I need to get some willpower.
I'm just
point.
healing my
Unfortunately, I got one.
willpower, and I'm going to take one of my 2
Conditions.
I will heal exhausted.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll just sit down and have a bite, drink some water, chit chat. Ask Darg about the village.
Well, having spoken with the orcs yet again, and received the demands of the oracle, you believe, the giant spider in the cave, but more than likely the oracle, that she wants the orcs removed, preferably by death, in order to give you the answer to a question that you have yet to ask. But more than likely, I'm assuming it's probably about the statue. She has given you Rorik, a child, as a gift of faith in your ability to fulfill your end of the bargain. Having that, you have chosen to wait till they have spoken to the orcs have spoken to their commander, which I believe Karyn has told you her name is Agra. You have found the cave you once found the relics in before, made a camp, setting sentries and watching the 3 entrances. You all relax and begin to take a breather to figure out what your next move is. And should it be confronting the large number of orcs, or the ancient giant spider in the cave? And with that, the darkness of the cave seems to grow, and the light seems to fade. And so closes our session for tonight. Thank you, gentlemen.
There's much rejoicing.
Okay. Ready? Okay. So, basically, I believe it has happened if you have rolled any demons or dragons for a particular skill test or skill check. Make note of those during the session. Mm-hmm. And here are the questions. Mm-hmm. Did you participate in the session? Okay.
Yes.
Did you explore a new location?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you defeat one or more dangerous adversaries? Did you overcome an obstacle without force?
Yes.
Yes.
Does the bridge count?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or we got the kid back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you give into your weakness?
Yes.
Yes. I slept outside. Does that count?
Billy, you
does
guys
the
slept
kid
outside
count?
the night before.
Okay.
Then yes.
So the guys, so Dargs is gullible, so he went right
And
across that
believe the
bridge
crazy man.
without asking any questions because they told him that's where he should go.
So yes, that's all. That's all the questions. So add up how many you have, and then you can roll against the skills of your choosing. And
Do you mind
Who's
if
going
I
first?
go first? I gotta
Yeah,
roll.
Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
All right. Swimming, I have a 9. I rolled a 5. Too bad there. I'm gonna do 4 of them here. So I'm gonna do hunting and fishing. I rolled a 1. I'm gonna go bartering. Got that one. That one's now a 7. And my last one will be staff. Okay, I got that
and
one
just
too.
so you know, Matt, unlike any other time in this game, this is the only time you want to roll above your skill level to advance it. And any skill, the maximum height that you can go, of course, is 18. And once your skill reaches 18, then you can get another heroic ability.
All right.
Farewell.
All right, gentlemen.
All right,
I
take
gotta
us,
roll.
Tim.
All right,
Take
take
care.
it easy.
Tim.
See ya.
I will drop. I'll drop the file in.
Okay, cool.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
I'll go next if anybody else. All right, I am going to try for bows. I have a 16. I rolled a 12, so it does not advance. I am going to try evade. I have a 15. I rolled an 18. Nice. So that goes up 1. I'm going to try myths and legends. I have a 15. I rolled a 12. Does not advance. And I will try beast lore. I have a 12.
Yeah.
And I rolled an 18. So that goes up. Nice.
I'll go next. So first I got my dragon for acrobatics, which is a 9. And I got an 18. So that goes up.
Woo!
And
Double digits.
yes. Because we've had to use that twice already in the games. Next, I'll do sneaking. Sneaking is at a 16. I got a 14, so no luck there. Next is awareness, which is a 13. I got a 5, so no. Next, evade. Evade is a 12. I got a 2, so that's going nowhere. And lastly, I'll do swords, which is a 6. And I get a 15, so that goes up.
Okay. Matt, you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah. I'm going to try to stick to things that I tried to do. So very first, sneaking, I have a 6. And I roll a 2. So nope. Still stuck to that.
Welcome to the party.
Next, I think I'm going to try, what did I fail? It was a spot hidden. I have a 5 in that. I rolled a 15. So that goes up to a 6. I'm going to change that. And then I have 2 more. Okay, so then he tried to do acrobatics. He did succeed at that. I have a 12, so I will try to. I have a 9, so no, I did not go up in there. And I have 1 more. Because I got to meet a mythical creature, I'm going to try to do myths and legends, and I have a 5. And I rolled a 1, so no.
Oh my god.
Dark gonna dark.
I mean,
You're still probably better off than Sean right now because he's trying to.
Well, I got 1 in spot hidden, so that's
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
All right, I guess we'll go. So I've got a 9 in awareness.
There you go.
And I rolled a 14. Hey,
Nice.
double digits.
nice.
Whoops. And next, I'm going to go for bluffing. That's something I tried today. And I had that at 4, and I rolled 18, so I'm going to go to 5. I'm going to be a bluff master. And sneaking, I've got a 17. I'm going to try and get that heroic ability and roll a 7. So no. Hammers, I've got an 8 and rolled a 17. All right, so I got 9 on the hammers now.
All right.
All right, I am all done.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody.
I usually don't roll for Karyn.
Malcolm, do you want to roll? Or
Oh, yeah, sorry.
do it all at some point in time. Yeah.
Fudge it as the story
Okay.
dictates.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, Matt, glad you're able to join us.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to join us next week.
I miss
And your
this
heavy breathing
a
dog.
lot. Well, yeah, he's not. Yeah, I haven't let him on. Yeah. No, I have missed this, so I'm really glad to have a little bit of chance to
would you
jump in here.
How long
so
did we
thank
have you?
We've missed you. Hopefully, you get to jump in more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
But next week you're going to be able to join too. And
3 weeks, I think.
2 more weeks, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was just not recording. Sorry.
yeah.
It's just pure theater of the mind, or how are we doing maps?
Yeah, we're doing theater mind. I usually will show a picture of the map if we need it of mine. I have not gotten down Foundry yet, so because there's these things. This thing I have,
Kids.
this baby, and he takes up a lot of my life, like some sort of lamprey.
Stupid baby.
You guys could have said something, but you didn't.
Lurker below.
No, I'm pretty sure we were explicit about how. Yeah,
We all did. We all did.
Okay, I wasn't listening. Yeah, you did.
This, yeah.
You want to do what?
I'll be able to do this.
Hi, this is Matt, the co-host of the Advanced Age Role-Playing Gamers podcast, and you've been listening to our latest actual play, Mirth, Magic, and Mayhem, using the Dragonbane TTRPG from Free League Publishing, based on the classic Swedish role-playing game Drakar Demoner. If you like what you hear, please follow, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and anywhere else you find podcasts. We also really appreciate feedback and chatting with folks, so feel free to tweet us, comment on our YouTube, or leave us a review so we can reach even more people. You can also visit our website at www.theaarpgs.com, where you can read more about the cast, listen to old episodes, and even shop our store for cool Geek Chic merchandise. This story features Malcolm and Nathan as co-GMs. Malcolm will also be playing the role of Karyn, a halfling bard. Nathan will be playing the role of Brains, a Wolfkin thief. Our players for this story are Tyr as Dane Ringson, a human scholar. Sean as Balor Banefire, a Dwarven smith. Chris as Sigyn, an Elven Huntress. Anthony as Korgan Stonehammer, a halfling fighter. And Tim as Quiverwing, the Mallard Mage. Character artwork created by Nemesis to Anthony Cupo and friend of the show, Jody P. Schaefer, whose work you may recognize from Metacopolis, Marikari, Megas XLR, and MTV's Downtown. Contact him when the time is right. You'll know how and when. Music licensed through Dark Fantasy Studios and SoundCube. Sound FX by Nathan, using Krotos Weaponizer, Studio, and Dehumanizer, using libraries from Boom Library, SoundCube, Krotos, and his own recordings. So thank you again for taking time to sit down with us at our gaming table. And until next time, remember, you're never too old to roll.